Hello everyone. My name is Gautam Huidrom. I'm from Rajiv Gandhi University, Arunachal Pradesh, India. Respected official of IMCCRT 2020, the organizer of this conference, the convener of this conference, uh, esteemed review committee member of this paper, and my dear fellow participant. Uh, Thank you for this opportunity. I'll be presenting a paper, and the title of the paper is Determinants of Socially Responsible Consumption. So let's get into the detail of the introduction. Well, we all know that global warming is a major issue today throughout the world, whether it is the developed world or the developing world. It has become one of the major issues affecting uh, all aspects of life. So one of the things that uh, we are trying to assess in this paper is how does issue like global warming and issue of sustainability impact the issue of consumptions of goods and services in our daily life. The study of consumption of what we call socially responsible consumption tend to be usually focused on one aspect uh, of that aspect, which is the sustainability part about things to do with environmental protection and so on. But over the course of last few decades, last 1 or 2 decades, you know, the social aspect about social responsibility of consumption has become um, an important component of this aspect too. How do we produce goods and services in a more ethical manner? How do we treat our workers? How do we treat uh, are we following labor laws? How we following are we following we are not employing children? Are we paying livable salary to the factory workers and so on? These factors have also become important part of this issue of socially responsible consumption. So in the literature these days we are seeing the definition of socially responsible consumption has both elements together, incorporating sustainability issues and socially responsibility also is also part of this definition. In this paper today, however, we'll be looking at what are the sources or what are the determinants of socially responsible consumption. That is the particular focus of. So uh, the research question. In the research question, we're trying to uh, when we're trying to assess the concept of socially responsible consumption, we have taken we have we are incongruent with those authors who says that this construct has two elements in it, which is the environment sustainability aspect and the social responsibility aspect of it. That combination defines what is the meaning of socially responsible consumption. However, today the real focus, the major focus of this paper is what are the psychological factors that contributes to socially responsible consumption, or what are the sources, what are the antecedents to psychological antecedents to socially responsible consumption. So this paper is a theoretical paper. We are bringing I'm bringing out this paper is bringing out a conceptual paper on socially responsible consumption and its sources. So this is the proposed structural model of the study. uh, we have well, this paper has come up with three sources of socially responsible consumption. The first one is pro-social values. The second one is consideration for future consequences, and the third one is perceived consumer effectiveness. Pro-social value, as the name says, that people who have pro-social value are those people who believe in the well-being of other people, who believe in doing good things. If we have those kind of values, we say that those people are likely to be socially responsible in their consumption. And another aspect of it is this psychological concept of consideration for future consequences. So whatever what you do today, what is the consequences down the line? People who thinks in that manner, who thinks in that way, tend to be socially responsible consumption. That is our theoretical proposal. Then finally, we have perceived consumer effectiveness. That this is about efficacy. That you have in your hand your ability to make changes in life. Whatever choice you're making in terms of your consumption can have an impact in your in the lives of your own life and other lives. Here in this case, socially responsible consumption. People who have higher uh, perceived consumer effectiveness uh, tend to have higher socially responsible consumption value. So this is the structural model that we have come up, and in the next slide you will see the hypothesis, wherein we give you in detail what the hypothesis is, what we plan to do. So here is the hypothesis. We have 5 hypotheses. The first one is consumer with pro-social values will be positively related to socially responsible consumption, very obvious. The second one is the degree of consideration of future consequences is positively related to socially responsible consumption, and the degree of perceived consumer effectiveness is positively related to socially responsible consumption. The fourth and fifth hypothesis is the hypothesis that indicates a mediating relationship between socially responsible consumption and its sources. So we say that consideration for future consequences, or CFC, will mediate the relationship between pro-social values and socially responsible consumption. Then the other mediation relationship is between perceived consumer effectiveness will mediate the relationship between pro-social values and socially responsible consumption. So basically, we have 5 hypotheses. 3 of them uh, has to do with a direct relationship, and we have 4 and 5 with a mediation relationship that we propose to work out. Next slide, which is the implication and conclusion of the study. Well, by doing this study, we intend to find what are the psychological variables that that are sources to socially responsible consumption. By knowing this, by coming out with this kind of study, by understanding what are the causes to it, practitioner, business practitioner, entrepreneurs will have better idea who are those consumers who are likely to buy socially responsible products, green products, and so on. So it could be very helpful in how to market the products, how to develop, how to reach those kind of customers, and so on and so on. Finally, um, socially responsible consumption. By doing this study, we will be extending in the body of knowledge related to socially responsible consumption. And at the end, the goal is to contribute in creating a sustainable lifestyle in our daily lives. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening to me. If you have any question, please direct it to me. Thank you.